In our previous tutorial, we actually saw the demonstration of breadth-first search algorithm in Java. So in this tutorial, we will actually code that algorithm and see its working. So friends, in my previous tutorial, I have created one class by name graph, and we represented graph using an adjacency list. So friends, in order to understand more about graph, you can watch my previous tutorials. So in this tutorial, we will actually code the breadth-first search technique. So here I will be providing one method by name BFS, and as we know that this method will take a source value which would be nothing but a starting point from where we will actually start our breadth-first search. So in the first step, what we do is we actually create a boolean array which will actually keep the track of the visited nodes. I'll give the name as visited. And friends, here you can see that to this graph we are actually storing the number of vertices into this instance variable v. So the size of this boolean array would be v. Moving ahead, and then we'll simply create a queue. So we'll import it from java.util package. Friends, moving ahead, we will mark the source node as visited by assigning a value true to the visited array at index s, and then we'll simply offer s into the queue, which we actually discussed in our previous tutorial. Then we'll simply provide a while loop, and inside this while loop we place a condition that whether queue is empty or not. So this while loop executes if queue is not empty. So in the first step, what we do, we simply poll an element from the queue, and after polling the element from queue, we simply print it on the console. So friends, whatever the element we have polled from the queue, then we simply traverse its adjacent nodes, which we actually discussed in our previous tutorial. So we'll provide a for loop which will traverse the adjacent nodes to u. So let's say we give it as v, and in order to get the adjacent nodes to u, we simply bring the adjacency list at index u. So friend, in order to understand this more, you can watch my previous tutorial that what is adjacency list and how we can fetch the linked list associated with any particular index. Moving ahead, we will check that whether v is visited or not. So if it is not visited, then we'll simply mark it as visited by assigning the value as true, and then we'll simply offer it to the queue. So friends, in our previous tutorial also we discussed that this boolean array is kept to keep the track of the visited nodes. We are using this queue which will help us in traversing of this graph level by level. So what here we do is we actually visit a particular node at level, and after visiting it we go to its next level. So friends, this is the algorithm for the breadth-first search. Now let's test its working. So here you can see we have already created a graph of 4 nodes. So here we will apply this breadth-first search to the graph which we saw in the slide. So that slide had 5 nodes, so I will provide a value of 5 here. And here you can see that there is an edge from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and 3 to 0. So we'll provide one more edge from 2 to 4, which we actually saw in the slide. And then we'll finally call the breadth first search method. And let's say we are giving the source node as 0. So if I run this code now, so friends, here you can see it printed 0, 1, 3, 2, 4. And we also know that as we have started from 0, so this was at level 1. And from 0, 1 and 3 were connected, which we actually saw in the previous tutorial. So they printed after that. 2 was connected to 1 and 3. So then 2 was printed, and finally 4 was connected to 2. So 4 got printed. So here you can see that we have traversed each and every node level by level. I hope you liked this video. Thanks, have a nice day.